No one wanted this starship. A human mechanic turned it into a galactic superweapon. The place smelled of rust, oil, and memories long past. Gigantic starships lay scattered around, some with jagged holes in their hulls, others with engines cold for centuries. Most had been left by alien races who had no use for them anymore. Some had been stripped for parts. Others had been abandoned when a better, faster, or more powerful ship replaced them. But one ship caught Elia's eye. It was enormous, larger than any of the others. Its hull was scratched, dented, and covered in dust, but Elias could feel the quiet power it held. The alien scavengers who occasionally came here had laughed when they saw him looking at it. "It is junk," they had said, shaking their multiple limbs. "Nothing inside, nothing works. Move along, human." Elias had smiled. Humans were rare here and most aliens underestimated him. That was fine. Underestimation had its advantages. He approached the ship carefully, studying its massive exterior. There were markings along the side, faded symbols from a civilization long gone. They spoke of a legacy, a technology lost to time. The ship seemed to hum faintly beneath his touch, as if it recognized him. Elias felt a shiver run down his spine. He had worked on many ships before, but this one was different. It was not just a vessel, it was alive in a way. Elias found a hatch on the side of the ship, large enough for him to squeeze through. Inside, the corridors were dark and silent. Dust hung in the air like tiny stars. The walls were lined with panels, most of them blank, most of them broken. Yet Elias' trained eyes could see the patterns, circuits still intact, energy conduits still faintly glowing with life. "This is remarkable," he whispered to himself. He moved deeper into the ship, brushing off layers of dust from the control panels. His hands felt the cold metal, and his mind began to work like a machine. He could imagine what each console had done, how the engines would have started, how the navigation systems had once guided this giant through space. As he explored, he came across a central chamber. In the center was a massive console surrounded by darkness. On it rested a small, sealed cube, the AI core. Elias' heart raced. An AI core was like the brain of a starship. Most of the aliens had no idea how to awaken one, let alone repair it. But Elias had worked with AI before. He could do this. Carefully, he opened the console. Dust and old energy sparks made the air smell electric. The cube glowed faintly as he connected his tools, ancient circuits meeting modern human ingenuity. His fingers moved quickly, carefully adjusting conduits, reconnecting circuits, aligning interfaces. The ship responded. Lights flickered along the corridors. A low hum began in the engines. The AI core pulsed softly like a heartbeat. Elias stepped back and smiled. "Welcome back," he said softly. It took hours of work. Elias had no fancy equipment, only his toolkit, a few portable power sources, and his mind. He improvised, building connectors from scrap metal, rewiring panels with whatever wires he could find. Each small success was a victory, a light turning on, a door opening, a display flickering to life. The ship was waking up slowly, carefully. In one corridor, a display panel blinked. A map appeared, showing distant star systems, some unfamiliar even to Elias. The ship was larger than any map he had seen before. He realized that its range was incredible, that it could travel farther, faster, and with more energy than any alien vessel in the sector. Yet, for all its size and power, it waited for someone to understand it, someone to care for it. And now Elias was that someone. By the time the first galactic sun began to rise outside, Elias had managed to power up more sections of the ship. Small systems were online: life support, energy conduits, navigation lights. He walked through the corridors, marveling at the ship's design. It was built with a precision and elegance no alien engineer could match. He could feel the thought behind every line, every curve, every panel. Elias paused in a room that seemed to be a workshop of its own. Tools and mechanical arms were still folded along the walls. Dust-covered components lay scattered. Elias smiled again. This ship had everything he needed. It would be a lot of work, but he could make it function again. Not just function, but thrive. Hours turned into days. Elias slept in small compartments, ate what little he brought, and continued his work. He patched broken conduits, rerouted energy flows, and carefully cleaned the AI core. Sometimes he would sit in front of it, talking softly. Humans were good at bonding, at finding patterns and connections that other species overlooked. It seemed to respond, pulsing gently when he spoke. Alien scavengers occasionally returned, curious. They sneered when they saw him. "Why waste your time, human?" one said. "This ship is dead. You are wasting your life." Elias only smiled. He didn't need their approval. He had already seen what the ship could be, and he knew that sometimes the smallest spark could ignite something the galaxy had thought lost forever. Then came the first real breakthrough. Elias managed to activate a section of the ship's energy grid. Lights blazed across the walls, a low vibration filled the corridors, and the hum of the engines grew louder. He stepped back, awe on his face. The ship responded to him, not just mechanically but almost emotionally. It adapted, pulsed, and shifted as if alive. Elias knew that this was only the beginning. The ship had secrets buried deep, technologies far beyond what any alien race currently possessed. And he, a human mechanic, was the only one who could understand it. The ship's power was incredible, but it needed him. And he, in turn, had found something worth dedicating his life to. At night, he would stand on the observation deck, staring out into space. The stars seemed brighter from the ship's height, more alive. He imagined what it would be like to pilot it, to explore the unknown, to unlock the secrets that lay in distant systems. And then he thought of the galaxy itself. If this ship could be revived, what else was waiting to be rediscovered? What else had been forgotten? Elias smiled. One step at a time, he would bring this starship back to life. Not for fame, not for power, but because humans could see what others could not, and because sometimes the galaxy needed a spark. As he drifted to sleep that night in a small compartment, the ship hummed softly around him. Its lights glimmered faintly like stars, and he could almost hear it breathe. For the first time in centuries, it was alive again, and a human had made it so. Outside, alien scavengers whispered among themselves. They didn't understand. They couldn't understand. How could a human, weak, small, and underestimated, breathe life into a ship that had been abandoned by the most advanced species in the galaxy? But Elias did not care about their disbelief. He only cared about the possibilities. He would awaken every system, repair every corridor, and uncover every secret. The ship was waiting, and he, human ingenuity incarnate, was ready. The forgotten giant had found its mechanic. And together, they would change the galaxy in ways no one could yet imagine. The hum of the colossal starship filled every corridor like a quiet heartbeat. Elia's core moved through its darkened halls with purpose, carrying small toolkits and wires salvaged from nearby stations. He had repaired the first section, but he knew this was only the beginning. The ship had layers of systems, some so ancient that even the most advanced alien engineers would have dismissed them as lost to time. Elias stopped in front of the AI core. The cube pulsed faintly, almost like it was listening to him. He crouched and placed a hand on the smooth surface. "All right," he said softly, "let's see what you can really do." The AI had not fully awakened yet. Its systems were fragmented, with missing links and damaged circuits. But Elias understood the design in ways the aliens never could. Where they saw metal and wires, he saw patterns, possibilities, and solutions. Humans had a talent for improvisation, a spark of creativity that technology alone could not match. He started by connecting makeshift conduits to the AI core, using power from the ship's partially active energy grid. Sparks flew occasionally, but Elias worked calmly, guided by instinct and experience. He adjusted energy flows, rerouted damaged circuits, and slowly began to bring the AI to life. A soft glow emanated from the cube. It pulsed rhythmically, almost like a heartbeat, syncing with the low vibration of the engines. Elias felt a thrill run through him. The AI was responding to him. It was learning him, adapting. Hours passed, and Elias had repaired several sections of the ship. Life support was fully functional now, and small lights blinked across the corridors. Panels flickered to life, showing the starship's internal map. The sheer size of it stunned him. It was larger than any known alien vessel in the nearby systems, capable of traveling farther and faster than any galactic freighter or warship. He paused to examine the ship's engine room. The engines were dormant, but the design was ingenious. Twin fusion cores, multiple backup systems, and energy conduits designed for efficiency beyond modern comprehension. Elias' eyes widened. This ship wasn't just old, it was revolutionary. As he worked, alien scavengers returned. They hovered outside the hull, watching him through observation ports, their multi-limbed bodies twisted in amusement. "Still wasting your time, human," one of them called. "You cannot repair what we have all failed to revive. This ship is dead." Elias smiled without looking up. "It's not dead," he replied quietly. "You just don't understand it." He continued working. By now, the ship seemed to recognize him. Doors opened as he approached. Lights brightened when he entered rooms. Energy conduits shifted to accommodate his adjustments. It was subtle, but the ship was responding, almost as if it had been waiting for a human mind to guide it. Days blurred together as Elias pushed forward. He repaired communication arrays, tested navigation systems, and rebuilt broken circuits from spare parts he scavenged from nearby derelict stations. Each success brought the ship closer to life. Then came the breakthrough. Elias connected the AI to the ship's energy grid fully. A surge of power ran through the ship. Lights blazed brighter than ever. A soft vibration shook the floor. For the first time in centuries, the starship hummed with its full potential. Elias stepped back, awe on his face. The AI core pulsed, projecting holographic displays into the chamber. Schematics, star maps, and system readings floated in the air. The ship's hidden potential was staggering. He noticed something new, a series of symbols that seemed to represent energy pathways. When he traced them, the ship adjusted itself, rerouting power to dormant sections. It was learning from him, adapting to his methods. The bond between human and starship was forming, subtle but undeniable. But Elias knew it wouldn't be easy. The galaxy was not kind to humans who dared to rise above expectation. Alien factions monitored the shipyard from afar. Some wanted to claim the starship for themselves. Others had plans to destroy it, fearing a human could wield such power. The first test came unexpectedly. While Elias was examining the ship's navigation systems, the hull vibrated slightly. External scanners showed alien ships approaching. They were small, fast, and clearly intending to board. Elias didn't panic. He had prepared for this. He activated the ship's defense systems, not weapons but protective measures. Energy shields rose, invisible barriers forming around the hull. The alien ships tried to approach, but they bounced off harmlessly. Elias had used the ship's advanced systems creatively, adapting them for defense rather than attack. For hours, the aliens attempted to breach the ship. Each time, Elias found a way to reroute power, adjust shields, or manipulate energy flows to repel them without firing a single shot. By the time they finally retreated, the humans and aliens watching from afar were astonished. A human had outsmarted them, using nothing but skill and intellect. Elias exhaled. He knew that this was only the beginning. The ship held secrets far beyond even his imagination. Hidden compartments revealed advanced propulsion systems, unknown energy sources, and encrypted data from civilizations that had vanished thousands of years ago. He spent the next few days unlocking these secrets. Each discovery was a marvel. A propulsion system allowed for near-instantaneous jumps across space. An energy matrix could harness and store immense power safely. The AI, once fully awakened, began offering suggestions, adapting its capabilities to Elia's commands. It was remarkable. A human mechanic, underestimated and small in the galaxy's eyes, was bringing a forgotten starship to life. And the ship, in turn, was showing him technologies no alien had dared to understand. One evening, Elias sat in the observation deck, staring at distant star systems. The ship hummed gently around him, lights pulsing in quiet rhythm. He imagined what it could do if he were to pilot it fully, exploring the galaxy, discovering lost civilizations, and unlocking technology that had been hidden for millennia. But he also knew the responsibility. Such power, even without weapons, could alter the balance of the galaxy. He had to be careful, clever, and patient. Humans had a reputation for recklessness in the eyes of the alien races, but Elias would prove that intelligence and ingenuity were the real strengths of his kind. Over the following week, Elias made more improvements. He repaired the internal navigation grid, allowing the ship to chart courses autonomously. He calibrated the energy matrix, ensuring that the immense power stored could be redirected safely when needed. He began training with the AI, learning how to communicate with it efficiently, forming a partnership that transcended species or machine. By now, word of the starship had spread. Messages from alien scouts arrived, some curious, others wary. They had heard rumors of a human reviving the impossible, and many came to see it for themselves. Some tried to bribe him, others to threaten. Elias ignored them all. The ship was his responsibility, and he would not let greed or fear dictate its purpose. Finally, after weeks of work, Elias was ready to test the ship in motion. He activated the propulsion system slowly, sensors running, energy flows stabilized. The engines responded beautifully, humming like a living creature. The AI provided real-time feedback, guiding him through controls and adjustments. Elias smiled. The ship, once forgotten, was alive. Its systems were functioning at peak capacity. And he, a human mechanic underestimated by the galaxy, had made it so. He took a deep breath and prepared for the first jump. Outside the observation deck, stars streaked as the ship's propulsion system engaged. For the first time in centuries, the forgotten starship moved under its own power. It was exhilarating. Every system responded perfectly. The AI pulsed with recognition, the ship adapting and thriving. Elias felt a sense of pride and awe. Humans had ingenuity, creativity, and the ability to see potential where others saw only ruin. And as he maneuvered the ship back to the shipyard, he knew that the galaxy would never see a human the same way again. Word would spread, allies would emerge, and those who doubted would have to rethink what they believed about humans. The awakening of the ship was more than mechanical, it was symbolic. A human had restored what others thought impossible, not with brute force, but with intellect, patience, and innovation. The galaxy would soon understand that underestimated humans could achieve the extraordinary. As the starship rested back at the shipyard that night, lights glowing softly, the AI spoke for the first time in clear words. "Elias, I am ready. Where shall we go?" Elias smiled, the weight of the future pressing on his mind, but excitement brighter than fear in his heart. "Anywhere," he said, "anywhere in the galaxy that needs a spark." The ship pulsed in response, like a heartbeat in rhythm with his own. The awakening was complete. The bond between human and starship was solid. Together, they were more than just a mechanic and a machine. They were a force the galaxy had never expected. And this was only the beginning. The colossal starship hummed beneath Elias Kor's hands like a living creature. It had been months since he first set foot aboard the forgotten giant, and now every system was active, every engine calibrated, every conduit flowing with energy. The ship pulsed in sync with him, alive in a way that only a human could awaken. Elias stood on the observation deck, looking out at the expanse of stars. He felt a thrill run through him. The galaxy was vast, filled with civilizations that had dismissed humanity as weak, insignificant, or naive. Yet here he was, a single human commanding a ship that could outmatch entire fleets without firing a weapon. The thought was intoxicating, but Elias remained grounded. "This is it," he said softly. "Time to show what humans can really do." He activated the ship's propulsion systems, engaging its full power for the first time outside the shipyard. The stars stretched into streaks of light as the ship moved. The AI, now fully integrated with Elias, spoke calmly, energy levels stable, navigation optimized. No external threats detected. But Elias knew that in the galaxy, calm was often deceptive. Alien factions had learned of the human and the ship. Some were curious, others wary. A few saw it as a threat, a symbol of power no human should hold, and they were watching. As the ship passed near a busy trade hub, the first alien fleet arrived. Sleek, multi-limbed ships, fast and armed, hovered at the edges of the star system. Sensors registered them immediately. Their intentions were clear. They wanted to examine, claim, or destroy the human and the starship. Elias didn't panic. He studied the display and smiled. "We're not going to fight them," he said. "We're going to outsmart them." The AI pulsed in acknowledgement. Elias engaged the ship's defensive systems, not weapons, but adaptive shields and energy diversions. Invisible barriers rippled across the hull, absorbing scans and redirecting energy to create false readings. To the alien observers, the ship appeared fragile, dormant, and harmless. Yet, beneath the surface, the ship thrummed with potential. Its engines were ready to accelerate beyond known limits. Its energy matrix could create vast fields of force. Its AI could manipulate systems faster than any alien technology could counter. All it needed was human direction. Elias activated a subtle maneuver. The ship phased slightly out of conventional space, creating the illusion that it had disappeared entirely. Alien ships searched desperately, scanning for its signature. The humans had mastered an art they didn't yet understand, power without destruction. Hours passed. The alien fleet gave up, baffled and frustrated. Word of a human controlling the impossible ship spread quickly across the hub, reaching distant systems. Elias watched the displays and smiled. The galaxy was learning a lesson. Humans were not to be underestimated. With the immediate threat gone, Elias began exploring the full capabilities of the ship. He initiated a full propulsion test, sending the Starship into a distant system. Sensors revealed planets untouched by modern civilizations, asteroid fields dense with rare materials, and ancient relics drifting silently through space. Elias guided the ship to a nearby planet that had once been the homeworld of a lost civilization. Ancient structures rose from the surface, covered in strange metallic vines that glimmered faintly. The ship's sensors revealed hidden energy nodes beneath the surface, some still active. "This is incredible," Elias whispered. He had read about lost civilizations, studied alien architecture, and theorized about their technologies, but seeing it firsthand was beyond imagination. He could unlock secrets that would take entire alien races decades to decipher. The AI spoke. "Elias, energy nodes detected. Patterns indicate potential to restore or manipulate planetary systems." Elias' mind raced. He could do more than explore. He could create, repair, and enhance. Using the Starship's energy matrix, he gently redistributed energy to stabilize one of the planet's failing ecosystems. Trees began to glow faintly as they absorbed revitalized energy. Small rivers regained flow. Creatures, long dormant, stirred. The planet responded to human ingenuity, not force. The aliens who had once controlled the galaxy through intimidation could only watch from afar, powerless. Elias felt a quiet satisfaction. True power, he realized, was not in destruction. It was in creation, adaptation, and vision. News of Elia's achievements spread. Ambassadors from various systems approached, curious about the human and the starship. Some were skeptical, others were fearful. But all were intrigued. A single human had awakened technology thought lost for millennia and was using it to improve, protect, and explore, rather than dominate. One delegation finally arrived in person. Tall, elegant aliens, shimmering with iridescent skin, approached the ship. Their leader, a diplomat named Valen, spoke cautiously. "You are the human who controls the lost starship," Valen said. "We have watched your movements. We expected destruction. We see creation instead. Explain yourself." Elia stepped forward, hands open in gesture, and smiled. "I am Elia's core. I fix things, I explore, I learn. That is what humans do. We see potential where others see ruin. We take forgotten tools and make them useful. We create solutions, not weapons, unless we must. This ship, it needed a mechanic. I gave it life, and now it can help the galaxy." Valen studied him, eyes wide with awe. "You are different. Your species is underestimated, yet you wield this power responsibly. Incredible." The delegation returned to their ships, carrying the news back to their systems. Humans, long dismissed, were now a species that commanded respect. A single human mechanic had demonstrated ingenuity that no fleet or weapon could match. Elias continued his work, exploring distant systems, repairing broken worlds, and unlocking the secrets of the ancient civilizations scattered across space. The starship had become an extension of himself, responding to his creativity, intuition, and care. He discovered technology capable of powering entire planets, energy matrices that could stabilize unstable stars, and communication arrays that could connect isolated civilizations. The AI worked alongside him, offering suggestions, adapting systems, and learning from human ingenuity. In one instance, Elias navigated an asteroid belt dense with rare minerals. Alien smugglers had once used it as a trap. Elias, using the ship's adaptive systems, created a temporary energy field that guided him safely through while extracting valuable resources without damage. Again, he had solved a challenge through intellect and resourcefulness, not force. Each success reinforced the message. Humans were underestimated, but they were capable of brilliance. Intelligence, creativity, and patience could achieve what brute strength could not. The galaxy began to change subtly. Ships once dismissive of humans now paused in respect when hearing the name Elia's core. Diplomatic channels opened, offering trade, knowledge, and alliances. Other species began to study humans more closely, realizing that the smallest mind could unlock the greatest potential. Yet Elias remained humble. He did not seek fame, conquest, or reward. The starship's capabilities were vast, but he used them wisely. He established safe zones, repaired deteriorating planets, and connected lost civilizations. The ship's power, now fully awakened, became a tool for progress, not fear. One day, Elias sat in the observation deck, watching a young star system begin to stabilize after centuries of neglect. The AI spoke softly. "You have done well, Elias. The galaxy acknowledges your ingenuity." Elias smiled, looking at the pulsing lights of the starship. "It's not just me," he replied. "It's humans. We see what others cannot. We find solutions where others see endings. And this ship, it just needed someone to understand it." The starship pulsed in response, a quiet affirmation. It had been forgotten, abandoned, and left to decay. But a human mechanic had brought it back, not for war, not for power, but for progress. As the ship moved toward the edge of the galaxy, Elias plotted a course to the unknown. Beyond the systems mapped by the most advanced civilizations, mysteries awaited. Planets untouched, civilizations lost, technologies waiting to be rediscovered. And Elias, with the ship alive under his guidance, would find them. In the end, the galaxy had learned an important lesson: underestimate a human at your own peril. One human mind, one spark of ingenuity could awaken ancient giants, solve the impossible, and change the course of civilizations. Elias looked out at the stars, a faint smile on his face. The galaxy was vast, full of challenges and opportunities, but he was ready. The ship hummed gently beneath him, alive and powerful, a testament to what humans could achieve when underestimated, ignored, or overlooked. A single mechanic had turned a forgotten starship into a symbol of ingenuity, a protector of civilizations, and a harbinger of a new age where human creativity would no longer be dismissed. And so, Elia's core piloted the starship into the infinite expanse of space, ready to explore, repair, and awaken the forgotten wonders of the galaxy, proving once and for all that humanity, though small, could achieve the extraordinary. The galaxy would never be the same,